Welcome to my channel, So Worth It, sewing machine cleaning and oiling tutorials. I have been gifted a beautiful white sewing machine 1563. It was sitting in the garage and they've given me an opportunity to try and just clean it up, check it, see what areas that need to be oiled, cleaned up, and get her back into by the looks of it, the light is on, so it's a working condition. So I don't think I need to get it in working condition, but I think we just need to get it kind of cleaned up. One thing I like to check when I get these machines, does this turn? If this turns, then I see this moving, then I know it's worth an opportunity. This one is a fascinating machine. Now is a little on the dirty side, but that's okay, because we're going to get it all cleaned up and looking amazing. We're going to check and see what's going on the top, get a good idea of what's going on the bottom. When was the last time that was cleaned out? Check the belt to see what's going on. There are some parts that still seem to be in really good condition, and share with you a little bit more about what this machine history is about, as well as just more information that I find online that you guys can benefit from. And I'll turn the camera around, give you a closer look of what we're looking at the before, what accessories we're going to be getting with this machine. It comes with the instructions, foot. It's got two plates, which is amazing. So I will get a better understanding of how to thread the machine. Again, this one looks like a simple wind the bobbin, and I'll get an idea of what these cams do. I'd like to see them work on this one. It would be interesting because I haven't seen a machine work with the cams, but they're supposed to be specialty stitches for dresses once upon a time. And linens, bed linens, napkins, to make them look a little bit prettier and fancy instead of doing the hand stitch. So I'll switch the camera around and give you a closer look of what it looks like, so we get an idea of what it sounds like before, as well as what it's going to sound like after. I'll be right back. So it has been sitting for a while. So this gives you a good idea of what it looks like. If you have a machine that's been sitting for a while, what does it look like after it's all cleaned up? And is, just to kind of get an idea of the potential. So I'll clean it up a little bit off camera, but I want to start to kind of give it an idea of what it sounds like. It's just, oh, the needle is in a zigzag position, or a different position. I just took this off just to figure out what stitch goes where, because it's trying to do a zigzag on me, but I want to give you an idea of what it sounds like. So somebody's making some noise. Something over here. I don't like that sound. Let me take my bobbin case out. All right, so again, it's making a noise. By the sounds of it, might need a major overhaul, but for starters, we will clean it up and try doing some oiling and see where the outcome is. Taking a look at the top is just 2 screws, which is great. Once I get the top off, I'm just going to keep the screws there for me, so I remember where they came. Okay. Let's see what's knocking. Looks like it's here. Now this bar is really rusted too. When people sell you a sewing machine, this is the other reason why you want to take a look and see what's going on the bottom, to make sure that everything is working well. Now, this was on a table, but they got rid of the table. But I'm going to try and give it oil in every little spot that I can see where something needs to be moved. This is the rewind button. We'll see what's going on there afterwards. See if I can. So again, I'm seeing what's happening with that knocking noise. And it's beginning to sound pretty good, surprisingly. Now, it is wise to try and see if you wanted to kind of clean this sort of area up. Because it is dirty. But you use oil to clean it, not cleaner. To clean some of the dust off. Now on the body of the machine, that's a different thing. But this stuff here, you can use oil. But I'll finish all that good stuff off camera. I just wanted to see what was happening on the bottom. It sounds like some of the oil has built up over time and it's gotten very sticky. So cleaning it off might make a difference. Now I'm going to take a look and see what's going on this area here. But it's already sounding a lot better from a knocking noise. But I'm going to put her up. We'll take a look over here. Just by taking a look at the bottom, I'm not doing too much. I still have to get into this area, but listen. Big difference already. So like I said, I still have to get in here. To get this out, because I want to see what's happening there, slide these over and just pop this out. That doesn't look too bad. This is the stuff that I was concerned about. Well, let's take a look at this. It is dirty in there. and it is dirty in this area here. Now, when I had the machine upside down, I did oil. So I'll take a little bit of oil and steel wool and see if I can get some of the rust off. And then we'll see what it sounds like. I want to get in here. Why I'm going to be using steel wool on something like this, fine steel wool, is because the rust and dirt is combined with aged oil. That's why. And we'll see if this makes a difference already, because I did put oil in the back of this. But now that I got this out, let's see if it kind of makes a difference of what it sounds like. So it's already not sounding like a knocking noise anymore, so it might actually be related to this being cleaned out. I'm really impressed with what's going on. So I'll take some time and get some of the, I'll show you if I can get in closer. That needs to be lightly cleaned out with steel wool and oil, because this obviously was knocking and making a noise of some kind. And that's still very dirty. There's even a piece of thread hooked on here. Oh, I'll get that off. But again, when you're seeing something like this and you're thinking, my gosh, what am I going to do with this? Clean it up. When we take time and patience to actually clean something up, you'd be very impressed of what it looks like afterwards. So this, I'm going to be satisfied with how it looks. This came out amazing. I might have to put some oil just to keep it shiny, but I'm really pleased how that turned out. And this is still a little on the rusty side, but you know what? It's still great because I only have this bobbin, and the inside is still a little bit rusty spots. As you can see in the bottom there, right here. But if you don't have a bobbin, then just take a little bit of, where did it disappear to? Steel wool, and just give it a good TLC. And then looking down here, I was able to get in there, and it looks better. I still have some spots in there that I have to get at, but just to show you the results when you take your time to clean something up, what it ends up looking like. I'm almost tempted to take the cleaner and just spray it on here and then wash it off, but you're really not supposed to do that. Anyways, still cleaning it off camera, and we'll show, actually I want to hear what this sounds like when I put this back in. So that's very simple to do. Just move this back a bit. Just gonna pop it in here. Mind my hands in the way, because earlier there was a knocking sound. When I took this off, I didn't hear the knocking sound anymore. So now that I've cleaned this up, I want to hear. So once you put that in the right spot, that plate goes on with a pin there, and then these push back. But I want to see what it sounds like now, if that knocking noise is still there. Oh, it's making a funny noise on the back of my board here. So there's still kind of in between a knocking noise, but it's not as knocking as it was before. Zoom out to my desk is very cluttered, but big difference from the first part of the video. And I'm not even done cleaning. I still have the back of the body, and I still have by the belt area just to give it a clean. And might replace, well, we'll see if I replace, yeah, I do need to replace the bob and winder rubber. But everything else seems pretty good. So I'll continue to clean it up, show you what it finally looks like after everything is said and done. So this will be a part 2 to this video, because it is going to be a long one, and I'd rather break it up to show the sewing aspect of it as one part. But the cleaning aspect, we'll continue to clean it, and then I'll give you a final results on the after. So that way you can have the 2 videos, because this one has cams, and I'm curious on how the cams stitch. I'm very pleased after I got it all cleaned up, how to get the positioning of the sewing machine to sew straight. I changed the plate to a single needle hole. I found out that this is a left needle position. So when I was setting these up, in order for the straight stitch, it must be on the left-hand side. Obviously, these are the tension widths, so that has nothing to do with it. But to stop the zigzag positioning, I found that you must have the zigzag option all the way over to the right-hand side, and the width at 0, and that's where you would then get the straight stitch without any issues. Because when I first started the machine, it was trying to hit the plate, which only was a single needle. I do have a couple of the spots on the machine that I kind of want to still get cleaned up, where it's still a little grimy. This is what it sounds like. And that's what we want. This is up. We don't want that up. Let's try that again. It still has a bit of a knocking noise, but like I said, the good news is it's not as evident. And the reverse button actually does work when it's in the right position. So I think if it's in a zigzag position, it may not necessarily need to do a reverse stitch, but when it's on a straight stitch, oops, then it does. I hope you learned a lot from this tutorial, because I did. So please look forward to part 2, as this is part 1 of the cleaning aspect. Love the results. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and look forward to joining you on the part 2 with the sewing, winding the bobbin, and working with the cams. Again, have an amazing day, and thanks for watching. Bye.